Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and it is good to be back flying the HEMS stuff. It's been a couple of weeks now. This is very much ad hoc. Wasn't planning on doing this, but literally finished my dinner and thought, do you know what I fancy? A little bit of HEMS work. So why don't I just stream it? So I'm very pleased to also say that look who is back. There he is. Duxford the Squadron Dog has returned. It's been a while. He's been in a long quarantine. He got a little bit sick on a trip abroad and he got banged up. Bless his heart. He got banged up. But he's back now. He's back now. Of course. You're not children. I understand. No, it's just because Parallel 42 Camp Out is now available for 2024. And Duxford the Dog comes to us courtesy of Camp Out. So there he is, looking splendid as always. Anyway, it's great to have you along. Really looking forward to this evening. What is the time now here in the UK? It's coming up to 8 o'clock. So planning on doing this for maybe about an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. And we're going to go and do some search and rescue. Or whatever comes our way. We're using the random and anywhere mod, so whatever comes our way. But I'm going to do something slightly differently, which we will talk about shortly. So let's jump in the cockpit. There we go. And I will turn on my old head tracking. There we go. Is everything working? Let's center that. There we go. Right, that's all good to go. Right, so what I'm going to do is the last time we did a random and anywhere thing, I literally just we just went where it took us, and we ended up, blimey, we ended up in Dundee. And that's one of the things you can do with this, is literally just spend hours and end up wherever it takes you. But what I want to do this time is really focus on missions in the mountains. So I'm going to set us up so that it keeps bringing us back to the same kind of location, which will be pretty cool. Nathan, great to have you along. Brilliant. Oh, thank you very much for watching. It's good to have you on the live stream. I do love live streaming more than anything because it's a chance to have a chat with people. I just find this whole H145 HEMS random and anywhere stuff incredibly addictive, and it's always fun to do it with other people coming along. Incidentally, if you fancy a helicopter mystery tour, I am on the Western Europe server. I'm not flying live weather because live weather is absolutely stinking right now. And one of the reasons why I thought I'd do some flying is because I fancied flying in the beautiful Highlands, and it is not the beautiful Highlands this evening, that's for sure. It is it's very murky. Right, okay, so let me get into my semi-professional mode, make sure I know what I'm doing, just checking my physical controllers. That's all good, that's fine. So, what we're going to do is let's just if I go maps and missions, we will start the random and anywhere mod. You have to do this first before you actually turn any power on in the aircraft, just so it I guess so it takes control of things. But we can see at the bottom line we've got that red line moving along. There we go. Right, so I'm going to set a custom location, and I'm going to center it over here, and I want to get it, let's have a look, there's Avimore, I want to get it around about here. So I'm going to accept that. We're going to go just reduce that a little bit, and I'm going to go single player. So that's all good to go, and it's just basically telling us here now that we're not connected to the radio. So we need to get the radio set up. There's Frank, our ground crew. He's a good lad. Let's turn the battery on, and we're going to start whirring things around. So let's have some lights on. And now we can put our mission radio on. This is what connects us to dispatch. It connects us to everything to do with the mission. So it's rather critical piece of equipment. Guy, how are you doing? A53 Platty. Anyone else catch Murphy trying to fly? Oh, no, I didn't. So let's connect that. Of quick look down here. That's all good.
Hey, good morning all. Ready for the missions?
Acknowledge that. So there's a crew.
Good morning,
walking
Frank.
out. There is a bit of work that needs doing with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and the HEMS at the moment. You can see
Hey
that
Frank, good morning.
the crew, the RAF, are known for their skills and their ability to adapt, and they now levitate. What can I say?
Hi, Captain. Helicopter is ready
Quality
to fly.
air crew.
Logbook filled and signed.
That's what it's
if
about.
you need refueling,
Finky, how you
please
doing?
ask.
Good to see you, mate.
Thank
Okay.
you, Frank. I'll check.
Let's let them talk. So we got a mission. Patient complains of sudden severe abdominal pain after a fatty meal. Okay. Okay. We're going to accept it. There we go.
We are securing the
We're
equipment.
going to accept it, but I
Stand
have
by.
to say I question using Royal Air Force search and rescue helicopters for someone after a fatty meal. But it could be serious. It could be serious. It could be heart. So, right, let's concentrate on what we're doing. So, are you ready to jump out, fella? So, blimey, which one was it last time? I think last time it was 2-1, so this time we're going to go 1-2. So,
Preparing for engine starting sequence.
1-2. Off he goes. Let's get the numbers up. Check the battery. Battery's good. Everything else is fine. I tell you what. Ooh.
Area
Okay.
clear. Ready to start engine 1.
So we have got an error message there, which sometimes happens. And I tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to cancel. We're going to cancel that in case it all goes wrong. And we will start again. So we're going to abort. Let that clear up. Heelys, yeah. God, do you remember those? I'd forgotten about Heelys. Don't even know they're still a thing. My kids had them. Right, so we'll start again. Let's just quickly... there we go. That's all good. So, custom location. It sometimes happens, this is such a complicated... When you think that this is a mod that a guy has built and it's a labour of love. He's a real world Airbus helicopter instructor. And, come on, there we go. And it's very complex, and things are going to go awry once in a while, so we have to accept that. Right, so we've got custom location, single player. That's all good. So we're just waiting for the call to come in now. Your job is not to judge the emergency, only to get the medical team to the patient or something different. That's very good. Very good. I like your work ethic there, guy. Right, shall we try again? Let's see what happens. So, if you've watched this before, you know. If you haven't or you don't use the mod, it simulates real time. So we've got this real time situation now where we're waiting for a call to come in. Obviously, realistically, we'd be sitting in the crew room with a mug of tea and some toast and talking about last night's football, waiting for the bell to ring. But as it is, we're in the helicopter. And let's see what comes through. Let's just move that. Okay. Worker wounded by getting too close to bulldozer. Error. Failed to retrieve location. Error persists. Check mission minimum maximum. Push next. Okay, so we've got another error. I wonder why. I'm just going to push that out a bit and let's go for another one. Right, what do we got? Multiple injured in car versus truck road traffic collision. Trailer with chemical products caught fire. Wow. Okay, that sounds...
Finalizing setup.
That sounds
Stand by a
interesting.
moment.
Right, guys in the back are doing their thing. Let's cancel the head tracking, or rather reinstate the head tracking. Let's center it. Are you ready again? Well done, lads. So, battery's already on. Let's have prime pump. I can't remember what it said last time, but let's
Preparing
go
for
2-1.
engine starting sequence.
Those
2,
lights
1.
are on. He's going to hop out. So the crew, it's now simulating the crew in the back doing their bit, getting all the elastoplast ready, the magic sponges, all that kind of good stuff. Okay, we're just going to go for a start.
All cabin tasks completed. Ready for departure.
Thank you, chaps. Right, let's have a look over here. Checking my collective is down. There we go. Oil pressure's rising. Engine's rising. That's all good. Right, where are we going? Okay, so it looks like it's just north of Aviemore. That's fine. That's fine. Not quite right in the mountains, but it's in the mountains.
Engine started successfully. Moving to other engine.
How's the sound? I'll say that again. How's the sound, chaps? Is it alright?
Engine clear.
Seems that every time I stream, the sounds change in between. Let's get rid of that. Follow the aircraft.
All engines started successfully.
Right, he's going to do his leak checks. And we're going to get everything up and running. So, prime pumps
Hold on,
can come
performing
on.
leak checks.
Transfer pumps on, avionics, standby battery, DC, seat, VCS, pitot heat. It is evening, this is real time, so it's not really going to get really dark, but I'm just going to put the lights on, just so we're ready for that. And otherwise, happy with everything there. Quick look down here, let's just get that, and while we remember, we are going to turn off
TOS system test OK.
Okay, all good.
Because we don't want her yelling at us and panicking when we're flying through the mountains. Apologies for the accent. Okay, so that's all good. That's all good. Everything's tickety-boo there. So I'm going to pop the engines over there. We'll pop the map there. We can see here that our line here is white. So a quick check for myself also. I need to put the nav to MSFS because that's what drives the. That's where this is. Basically, the mission nav is in MSFS rather than the TDS. So I need to make sure it's following that. But strangely, I do need to recycle or cycle the TDS so that we get a blue line here, and we've got distance information here. So that's good. 29.5 miles. We've now got a blue line, and let's just double check in case, yeah, we've still got that there, so we are good to go there. This is fine. We can get engines to flight. Sunday? No. Toby, friend of the channel and Discord and my ex-virtual airline boss, is organising group flights. It's like a tour. So in the Discord, actually, while we're here, we have got an emergency to go to, but I will quickly pop it in there. He's posted the first leg up, and it's this Sunday. Details in the Discord, and there's an event created for it now if you want to come and have a look at that. Right, are we ready to go, lads? Yep, looks all good. Okay. Do the pilot thing now. So, wind is coming from over there. The side view, turn the release on.
toss. VY.
Interesting. Always happens on a live stream. What is going on with the FPS? Good God. It is pretty awful. Closed every second. You go on. I always say it, it's always on a live stream when something goes really, really weird. That is weird. Yeah, FPS is absolutely bottomed out. I've cleared my cache recently, so I know it's not that. Okay. Well, I really don't want to. Don't want to have to start again. Definitely some strange things going on. It's just flipping down. Let's have a look at that. This is the reality of flight simming at that. You just want to get a nice flight in. It's very strange. So it's not getting any from the cycling. The nose is coming down. It's on alt mode, so it should be hunting that.
Watch out! Reduce collective, now!
See if I can, see if I can at least stabilise that. But I think with this, yeah, there's something very, very wrong, isn't there? The way that the nose is
Watch out! Reduce collective,
tipping in.
now!
Okay, so this
Watch
is yeah,
out!
this is
Reduce collective,
this is
now!
build 500 blaster, but there is something very odd going on. So let's have a quick look. This is one of those situations that feels a lot like
500.
starting again, doesn't it? Okay, autopilot back on, and it's just absolutely taking a nosedive. But it's on alt mode. Oh, okay, now it's stabilised. Now it's stabilised. So at least the autopilot seems to be behaving itself now. But yeah, the FPS is definitely not right. So I tell you what I'm going to do. Bear with me, because I'm going to have to start this again. There's absolutely no point trying to carry on like this. Something I am just going to quickly try and do is just in kill the mission and see if that improves the FPS at all, just in case there's something funny going on. No. So there's obviously something else going on. Maybe, yeah. I'd say maybe the sim's playing out tonight. But anyway, do you know what we're going to do? Go up and start again. So, best thing to do, I can do it this way, can't I? There we go. You just have to look at my ugly mug for a few seconds. So, main menu. Sorry for the people that are following on the flight. I'm going to restart. I'm going to restart the sim, and then I'm going to start again at Lossiemouth and see if we can fix it. It is just one of those weird things. And I swear to God, it always happens if I'm trying to make a video. Weekend before last, I was trying to make the Comanche IFR video. And something really weird was going on then. And I spent a couple of hours trying to sort it out, and nothing would happen. So I left it and then did it this weekend. No problems at all. Right, let's have a quick look here. Just see if anything that could be doing it. I don't think so. So let's start again. There we go. It's just the way it is with flight sims, isn't it? It really is the way it is with flight sims. It's they just seem to have this this way of being a pain in the backside. Unlike other games, you know, it'd be far easier to play Fortnite. Right, so I think we're getting going again. It feels a bit too easy to handle after updates from 491. No need to use the anti-torque pedal. Definitely not. Definitely not. I'm using the anti-torque pedals. Well, certainly for any kind of when I'm landing, taking off, any kind of low speed work. Yeah, always using them. I vaguely remember, and I can't remember what build it was, I vaguely remember there was a build where if you took off without touching the pedals, it would the autopilot system would kind of stabilize itself. So I don't know if that's what you've seen. But out of habit, out of flying other helicopters, I'm always using the anti-torque. Yeah, I'm not brave enough not to. Because you can guarantee the time that you don't use it is the time that you go spinning into the ground. So yeah. Right, so we are just getting it all going. Actually, it's probably far more interesting you seeing this rather than looking at my face, isn't it? There we go. Ye olde launch thing. Right, so I just need to start I've cleared my cache, just in case. I cleared my cache the other day, but I've done a lot of flying, so maybe I need to do that again. So I'm going to whack that in. Put that back in at 150. There's something exciting for you, watching that doing it. Just having a quick look up here at my task manager performance. So everything was, yeah. Strange, isn't it? But it's just the way it goes. It's just the way it goes. I think I tend to find with the sim that most of the time it behaves itself, but every now and again it just does something daft. I think what I will do, I had it on TAA as well, which again doesn't normally cause me a problem, but I'm wondering if because I'm streaming, I mean everything up on the performance looks absolutely fine. Nothing was getting too taxed, but I might just put it onto DLSS just to see how that goes. So, oh, come back. Graphics. No, I wanted that. DLSS, there we go. Quality, that's all good. I don't use frame generation because for some reason it messes with my head tracking. It introduces a lag, which is a complete pain in the neck. Right, let's go back to Lossiemouth. There's Guy. Coming back, Guy. See you in a second. loading back here. Set as departure. Flight conditions. That's all good. That's all good. And are we still back on? Yeah, high level clouds. And let's go and see what happens. And the weird thing is, I'd been sitting, before I started the stream, I'd probably been sitting there for about, I don't know, quarter of an hour or so, just getting a few things set up. And I'd actually been flying around in the drone, just looking at some different areas, with no problem at all with frame rates or anything like that. So that's something triggered it. Not quite sure what. Okay, back in action. Come on, come on, come on. If this doesn't work, then this is going to be a very short and rather disastrous stream, I think. Okay, so quick check. That's all good. That's all good. That's fine. I just want to quickly have a look at... Yeah, so that's fine. Happy with that. Okay, so all again. Map submissions. Get that up and running. Random and anywhere. Get that going. Quick look up here. Okay, so custom location. There's Frank. Frank, mate, if you can get the mechanics out to look at the sim because something isn't quite right, that would be marvelous. Right, where is, there we go, center it on there. Except you can see now the FPS is absolutely fine. Let's wind that back a bit. I shall pop it there. And single player. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. Right, battery on. Position, anti-collision. Mission radio on. Acknowledge those, because that's all good. Come on. How are we getting on down here? Just waiting for that to... Frank. Frank moved.
Hey, good morning all. Ready for the missions?
Call to connect. There we go. Here come the levitating crew. I don't know where they're coming from. Oh, there they come. Look at that.
Good morning, Frank.
Good morning.
The sim might be running amok, but the Royal Air Force is gliding as one would expect. So that's all connected up. Let's get the numbers back up.
Hi, Captain. Helicopter is ready to fly.
Good.
Logbook filled and signed. If you need refueling, please ask.
Fuel is fine. Waiting for our first mission.
I'll check.
Check collective is down, which it is. All good. Like I said at the beginning, it's simulating. You don't get a call straight away. There we go. Skier swerved to avoid another skier, tangled his own feet and severely twisted his right knee. Ouch. I like the sound of that though. That's proper mountain stuff. That's what we want. It's just got to wait for that accept dispatch button to become active. But shall we start up? So last time we did 2-1. This time we're going to do 1-2.
Preparing for engine starting sequence.
Get
1,
out,
2.
lads. Let's light the fires. I'd say kick the tyres, but we haven't got any. Ace drive, your audio is nice and loud. Mine is quite loud. Oh, okay. Could just be the
Area
settings
clear.
that I've got.
Ready to start engine 1.
Right, engine 1. Come on, get the click spot. There we go. Any suggestions? Only with, and I do mean this. I would just check what volume settings you've got.
GPU disconnected. Ready to go.
I've got
Good day.
my. I think I've got my flight sim set at about 70%, something like that. So I don't know, but I would just check that. Also, if you mean the helicopter sounds, I've got the M. Gonzalez H145 sound pack in as well. So That will make a bit of difference to some things. Okay, so we've got
Engine started successfully. Moving to other engine.
Good. Still waiting for this to turn blue. Sometimes there's
engine clear.
A gap, but that's all right. He has called engine clear, so we'll start engine 2. Down here, that's okay. What a nice evening for it, actually. Should be quite nice up in the mountains. Only got wind weather on.
All engines started successfully.
If you missed the beginning, the weather is absolutely horrible, live weather, and a big reason for doing this flight was to have a look at some scenery. So I have got I've got high altitude clouds on, just so we can see some scenery really. Right, he's doing that round the back, so let's get prime pumps off, transfer pumps on, avionics. Some residual lights on the back, and good. We'll put some lights on. Don't really need them right now, but might need them in a bit. So just preempting that. He's jumping in.
Okay, all good.
Let's turn off the TORs.
TORs system test okay.
Go. So she won't start shouting at me. So I think we are back in go mode, but we still haven't got, that is still greyed out at the moment. So you sometimes do have to wait a little bit. Part of me is kind of a little bit tempted just to get flying, but I don't want to risk anything, and that will come through. Quick catch up with the chat. Virtual Skies, hello, how are you doing? We had a Magnus 145 land about 200 metres from the house yesterday. Wow. I don't often get HEMS 145s over here, but we do sometimes see the police coming into my local Blackbush to refuel, and I just love the sound of a 145, so I envy you. That must have been great. We need an all-weather yellow search and rescue helicopter. You're right, Guy. You're right. We can do all weather in this, it's just not very good for sightseeing. I am still waiting for that accept dispatch to come through, and I'm not convinced. I'm just trying to think, is there anything that I can do to... Is there anything I can do to maybe trigger it? I don't think so. I don't think so. I kind of want to... yeah, so you can't do it on there. What sometimes happens is what it's doing is it's actually building the mission. So right now the mod is doing something in the background, which is why it sometimes takes a bit of time. I'm a little bit tempted to fly in the general direction. The problem is we don't necessarily know where it is, but I am a little bit tempted to get going, but it might mess with some other things. So we'll see. It's going to be one of those streams, isn't it? It is definitely going to be one of those streams where nothing quite goes to plan. But let's see. Burning some valuable fuel. But the lads are happy. We've got no fault messages coming up, which is good. So it's not like the mission is telling us that there's something not quite right. I think what I will do is let's pop. No, let's pop that there. So it's giving us that general area. I am a little bit tempted to fly out there. I've never had to do this before. If we head out there, what's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is that by taking off it somehow throws the mission. But I am tempted. I don't know how long we'll be sitting here for. see. So I'm not lost at the moment, it's just giving us the centre there. It's definitely a good location for skiing. There won't be so much snow this time of year. Still haven't been able to accept it. Do you know what? I really wanted to do this mission as well. I really wanted to do this mission, but the fact that we've still, the fact that it still hasn't come up. It's unusual for it to take this long. It sometimes takes a little while, but do you know what? To hell with it. Let's fly over there. Let's fly over there and see what happens. Hopefully, once we get there, while we're en route, it will come up with the accept dispatch. So just checking. Yeah, we're all here. Let's see what happens. Worst case scenario, we just have to start another mission while we're out there. At least we can get some flying in. Okay, I'm very interested to see what the FPS does now. Still feels really good, having restarted it. So quite happy with that.
VTOS.
Typhoon's about to take off and watch off.
VY.
Technical term. And FPS is behaving itself. That's what I'm talking about. Very odd. Very odd. So the only change I made was DLSS, but I know that isn't it because I can fly absolutely fine in this with TAA on. And TAA actually works a little bit better with the glass screens in here. Did I speak too soon? There's the FPS going again. How wicked. As it was before, but it's not great, is it? Resources are absolutely fine. Temperatures are good. So it's not the rig. There's something weird going on in the centre. Yeah, virtual skies, you're right. It's 2020 is definitely a lot more stable. But 2024 hasn't been too bad for me, but this is exactly what happened last time. Took off and the FPS just dropped down. I'm just going to leave it. Do you know what? To hell with it. I'm going to leave it and see what happens. I'm going to see if it improves. Sometimes if you get out of an area, it's, I don't know if it's a server thing, but I've cleared the cache, so I know it's not that. I know I can fly with these settings with no difficulty at all, with good FPS, so I know it's not that. There's just something else weird going on, so I'm not going to start again, and I certainly don't want to end the stream. We'll just see how it pans out. Let's just put a climb in. We still haven't been able to accept the mission. So there's something funny going on there. Just balancing the speed and the climb rate. look at that. Now it's smoothed out. Now it's all good.
500.
Anybody who is still with the stream, who hasn't dropped out, is the disaster so far. Silver medal, thank you for sticking with it. Don't know why, I don't know what has caused the, I don't know what caused the FPS drop there, but it's absolutely fine now. Ah, okay. Okay, so the Miltech Chinook I've obviously got. So, let's, you guys,
500.
well, you are more than welcome to. Okay. You send your message again. Try the links. Yeah. I can't see why. I mean, the Miltech Chinook shouldn't have caused a problem like that. I would have thought. But interesting. Interesting. It got better as you pulled away. Okay, I don't think this mission is going to accept, so I'm going to do a couple of things just to see if I can force it. Engine 2 started correctly, starting sequence completed, perform takeoff clearance leap check, wait for co-pilot to board again. Co-pilot is boarded, so that's what's gone wrong. For some reason, we know that the co-pilot is boarded, but that's got locked. So what I'm going to do is we are going to trigger it by doing that. Acute coronary syndrome. Trying a few different things. Okay, Max, thank you for that. I appreciate it. I can easily fix that. Is that... There we go. Is that any better? Just turn the mic volume up a little bit. V Romero is saying I had to minimise settings. Okay, I've not had that, touch wood. Here we go, accept dispatch. There we go.
Cabin preparations, please wait.
Come on lads, get the plaster sorted out. We've got a life to save. Cheers Max, appreciate that. It's always helpful when people do comment about the audio, because it's very hard to tell. I was saying at the start that right, I'm just coupling the autopilot now, so we're going to fly nav. But I bet I need to do this again. Yeah, there we go.
Cabin secured.
So
All
now
set to proceed.
Now it's using MSFS as the nav source, which is where our mission is. Let's get that back. Let's open on map. So that's where they are. Keep an eye on that. So we're south of we're south of where we were before. Fair off flight, 42.9 nautical miles. Let's close the POI, follow the aircraft. What was I saying? Yeah, completely gone. Waffling so much, can't remember what I was talking about. I think it puts me in the default Chinook view. I have a separate theory on that altogether, so I think the default Chinook may be an issue. Okay, that's interesting. Guy, were you in that the first time I tried to fly? By any chance? That's the crazy thing. I mean, it's a default helicopter, but it'd be interesting if it is causing issues. Okay, cheers, Guy. Thanks for that. That's good to know. That is good to know, just in case that's what it was. Just climbing a little bit. Yeah, 2020. Do you know what? It's a shame because I'm just going to take her off autopilot. 2020 is just so nice, and it just seems to work and all that kind of thing. But I love the ground detail in 2024. And the detail you can see down there is so good for doing this sort of thing. And that's kind of what I miss if I go back to 2020, although it's still pretty good. And it's interesting, it still seems to have got some assets. I don't know if you can see it, but on the map you can see what looks like a pair of headphones. So it looks like it's still got some assets loaded in from when we had our ski accident. So hopefully that won't mess around with things too much. We'll see. Oh no! I know what that is. So that's the centre point for our mission area. That's what that is. Oh, I remember. Isn't it gorgeous? Such a beautiful area to fly. Oh, I see a guy over there. Guy is in a, I believe he switched to the Lynx, which is not available at the moment, but it will be shortly. The guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's actually an aircraft engineer, and he works on helicopters. I don't know how much I can say, but he works on helicopters, and in his spare time he works for historic helicopters, which that Sea King is operated by them. It was at RAF Lossiemouth, and it's the repaint that I fly in the sim from Demo Designs is the repaint honouring that. Let's have a look outside. Why not? There we go. Beautiful, isn't it? 202 squadron. There you go. Right, let's pick up some speed. It's a shame about that. Shame about the ski accident, because that would have been pretty good. And that was right. It looked like it was going to be right in the mountains. So I have a feeling, looking at this, this is going to be south of the Cairngorms National Park. It looks like it's probably right on the edge of the lower extreme. Almost certainly we're going to end up going to Dundee, I should think, to the hospital.
500.
Time is 9:15. Might get another mission in. I was hoping to do a little bit more. I could do this for hours. It's very addictive once you get going, but I don't think my wife would appreciate, watch the wires there, I don't think my wife would appreciate me screaming into the middle of the morning at my helicopter. Yeah, isn't it wonderful? Oh, is it? I'm not. I must admit, I'm a beta wimp. I never touch any of the. I never touched any of the betas. I wait till the actual sim update comes out, because I get so little sim time these days that I don't want to spend sim time messing about, trying to fix things and trying to troubleshoot things. So it's laziness, if I'm honest. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Sim Update 3 brings, because Sim Update 2 seemed seems to work quite well, although, you know, as we saw before, it's still got some quirks. I'd be very interested if the reason why we were getting the bad FPS was because of that default helicopter. That's a tad frustrating if that's the case. Just zip down here. If you're regular on the channel, you know I'm a huge fan of this area. Lived up in Lossiemouth for a few years back in the 80s, and try and get up here every year, camping in the Cairngorms. It really is a wonderful part of the world. Should really just be getting to a reasonable altitude where we can just do straight line max speed, but enjoy the scenery too much. Yeah, you're right, the LOD levels are really low, aren't they? I think that's one of the things I do find a little bit off-putting about this, is how you could be, I want to say they're a little bit better than they were when it first came out, but you could be approaching an airport and then all of a sudden everything kind of pops in just as you're on final approach, which to me is a little bit crap. Okay, so I'm going to pop you back on. There we go, and let's put it onto couple it. There we go. So we'll do a straight line. I've just coupled the nav to our mission, and then we can get moving. Going to use the collective trim hat switch just to put us into a bit of a climb so that we get above the mountains, because we're going to be kind of going over the top. Just straighten up old chap. There we go. Just use the anti-torpedoes just to straighten us up a bit. Be careful with the speed at this stage with the H145 on autopilot. If you're doing any kind of climbing at high speed, it overtalks the engine. So I'm just keeping the speed low at the moment, just above VY, and then just putting us in a nice gentle climb, and then nothing will break, and we can tear medals all around. What we do by internet loading assets from the web feels like loading from spinning hard drives sometimes. Yeah, it's not good, is it? It's not good. I'm sure they will. Do you know what? I'll be completely honest with you, Virtual Skies. I'm not a technical sim expert by any stretch of the imagination. It's not the kind of, and it's certainly not the kind of content that I do. So I don't necessarily know. I just like flying stuff. So I have to have a computer to do that. I have to know a bit about it, but I'm not a technical wizard by any stretch of the imagination. But when I bought 2024, I bought it with the attitude that it's not going to be great to start off with. There's going to be glitches, there's going to be issues, but over time it will sort itself out. And the interesting thing is, if this was any other game, that I'd bought for the PC, I would be really quite pissed off if it was doing the kind of things that Flight Sim does. But I think as a flight simmer, you almost accept that, you know, there's going to be issues, things are going to get patched. I remember, you know, with P3D having to mess about with config files, and then an update would come out and there'd be all sorts of funny things going on. And I guess it's just that flight sims are so complex that, you know, things happen. And, you know, we have to accept that they're going to keep updating it, but 2024 seems to be unusually stacked up with gremlins. You know, just basic things like the controls where you try and save a new set or delete a set that you don't want, and then it crashes the sim. I mean, that just, to me, that just seems such a basic thing to get sorted out. I noticed with SU2 that I could delete a control set in the sim. It would crash the sim, but when I came back into the sim again, it had actually deleted it. You just had to pay the price of it crashing the sim, which is a pain in the neck. Right, I'm just kicking the tail around a bit there, probably a bit too harsh. Lads in the back probably complaining. Let's get some speed up.
Watch out! Reduce collective, now!
Okay, that's what happens. Still had a bit of climb in, put some speed on, and everyone started winging out. So let's just stabilise it, come back up to speed again. Let's keep climbing. That's what happens. That's what happens when you overtalk it. But yeah, no, I'm the same as you, and and now I've kind of I've got 2020 and 2024 loaded on my computer, and I fly warbirds and helicopters in 2024. And I mean, that's what I'm talking about, the detail. I don't know if this comes across on the stream, but the detail on the ground there is just absolutely stupendous in 2024. See that road down there, the burn just kind of meandering through. Insane kind of levels of detail. Insanely large, lumpy, bumpy bits ahead. So, come back on the speed a bit.
500.
But yeah, I think it's worth sticking with, isn't it? It's worth seeing what happens. Because at some point, they'll get it sorted out. Yeah, and that's the good point. It is. I mean, you know, you can fly anywhere. You know, I've had people who are kind of DCS diehards say, you know, why would you fly Warbird in a sim where you can't shoot things down? And it's because you can fly anywhere in the world you want, and it is you know, it's kind of like a simulating a restoration warbird thing, isn't it? And you can fly from Duxford, you can fly up here, you can fly in the States, wherever you want, wherever you live, you can fly. And I think that makes a huge difference. So just keeping that climb in, but conscious of the fact that I've been doing so much waffling, I might need to take control in a second. We got down here, you see the TORS is going off in our second GTN unit. Got the red there, symbolic of the colour of the ground as we pile into it. Lads in the back getting a little bit nervous, but don't worry chaps, have faith. Have faith, yeah, let's take it off autopilot.
500.
And there we have a nice view of the lovely detailed rocks. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. So cool. Just that extra detail. Nice shadow there. I'm getting distracted. This is what I love about helicopters. You can mess about like this in terrain. Just fly around, have a good look at it, get close to it. Right, we've got a life to save, so let's stop messing around. Again, if you know HEMS Random in anywhere, or you've watched the stream before, you will probably know this anyway, but this clever little free mod is simulating the patient condition. So as I mess about looking at rocks and things and fawning over the scenery, our patient, their condition is actually potentially deteriorating. So I need to get a wiggle on, really. There we go. So I've just put it into autopilot. I've put it in heading mode now. Let's watch the speed. It's funny how erratic it gets. It's interesting.
Watch out! Reduce collective, now!
It's doing that thing again where the nose was going down. So I'm just going to see what happens now. So if I let go, the nose is not coming down now. That's all good. Okay, happy with that. Good stuff. Now, if I remembered, I think I've switched off the smoke, because you can have orange smoke to show you where, you know, where the casualty is, but I'm pretty sure I've turned that off just to make it a bit more realistic. Just bombing on a bit of speed.
Watch out! Reduce collective, now!
Yeah, it's so sensitive on autopilot if you start messing about with the speed. So I'm just going to leave it there, I think. Hey Kevin, how you doing? Ace, right, location. So I will show you. On the map. Right, bear with me. Check that everything's okay. I'm just going to pop. To lock the tracking. Okay, well, here we go. I'm going to show you. So we are up here just flying over the Cairngorm National Park. You can see there, that's where our target is, where we're picking up. I think it's probably going to then go to Dundee. I think we're going to go to the hospital in Dundee. So if you wanted to join up, I will do another mission, I think. So we're probably going to go to Dundee. So if you start off at Dundee or Scoon, however you pronounce it, potato, or you could probably, you've got Blair Athol over here, then you should be absolutely fine. I don't think you're talking to me, Kevin, but if you are, thank you very much. I certainly don't think I am. That's very kind of you. Okay, just watching the speed again there, because you can just see what I'm doing is I'm using the cyclic cat switch to just ever so gently nudge. If you look down here, you can see the green marker on the airspeed. If I just nudge that up a bit, you see those two red lines. Well, you've got the red line and then you've got the red kind of triangle cone marker above it. That's how, yeah, that's about as much as we're going to get out of it. We just, that scenery, my lord. There's Guy, and it's done it again. Unfortunately, even though I've got the links, good old MSFS has a habit of, rather than displaying the links, it's displaying Guy in a Bonanza or something like that. So, and that's one of the other things actually.
Watch out! Reduce collective.
Okay,
now.
there he goes again. So we probably just hit a bit of turbulence there, which just tripped the autopilot a little bit. We're sailing so close on the airspeed there to overtalk that it didn't take much just to tip it over. So just bring us back a little bit. Yeah, for some reason, model map teeth in. model matching is still a little bit odd. But yeah, Guy, do you know what? I think you're right. I think any... I do wonder if it was that Chinook, because it's beautifully smooth now. And it was fine. When I took off from Lossie, where were you? Were you already airborne, or I'm just trying to figure out why, because it was the same both times. Takeoff was okay. It was just shortly after takeoff, just starting out en route where it all dropped out. Welcome from Argentina. I bet your weather is a lot nicer than it is. Mind you, it's not been too bad today, to be honest. It's pretty awful up here. If I put live weather on up here, it's pretty murky. Yeah. So yeah, Ace Driver, I don't know if you've got it before. I think you probably have. There's a bit of a lag with the chat and that sort of thing. But the nearest is probably Blair Athol. I think, as I say, I think it's going to take me down to Dundee. So that's probably where we're going to end up. So, Kevin, I've got to be honest with you. I don't speak the language. Bien is well. I'm guessing. I love languages. I work with a lot of French people.
Police confirmed on scene.
Okay. I work with a lot of French people, and also some Italians, the Germans, and I love languages. But I'm ashamed of the fact that I'm fluent in none of them. Pick up the odd word and then say daft things. Right, so we're coming inbound now. We're not far off. Let's just have a look at the mission page. So, 13-year-old female, responsive, that's good. Acute coronary syndrome. Police crew arrived on location. So that was, I think that was the message we got before. Police crew on scene. And because they're there, we've got some symptoms, resuscitation from bystander. So that is all good. I love how it's all driven by this mod. It is so cool. So right, let's start preparing. So it's going to be down there. Everything's fine here. Just having a look. Fuel is okay. It's going to be okay to get us to Dundee.
I set a possible hospital destination for our patient. Infos are available on tablet. We can confirm or change later.
Yeah, we're going to Dundee. Which is fine. Which is fine. Right, let's come off autopilot. So first of all, cycling, release it, and then boof, off that comes. And let's go down and take a look.
2 nautical miles from accident area.
As I say, I've turned off the smoke, so we're not going to see a smoke signal or anything like that. And it's just zoomed out, so zoomed in rather. There we go. So where are we going? Done it again. You can cancel that. It's got that kind of automatic zoom.
500.
Use that for the guidance. So wind is coming from that direction.
Rear crew, we are approaching the
5 knots.
landing site.
So I'm just conscious of where the wind is. Try and bring us round. I'm trying to use the big map to point us in the right direction. The little map. Let's have a look. Middle point. actually looking for the lights of the police car. Oh, there it is. You might not see it, but I just saw the lights of the police car. So I'm going to come in. First thing we need to do is do a quick recce and see where we can land. So that field down there is looking quite good. Ah, there we go. That looks relatively flat there, because we want to get as close to the patient as we can. So I think I'm going to go down there. So wind is there. Let's come back round. It's always deceptive, though. I find that you know, you look at what looks like a flat area, and then you come in, and it's rather bumpy. So we'll come back round. I'm going to fold that away. Come back down here. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you, mate. Stephen, how do you get past the activation bug? There is a way, but it's too... I would check out the HPG Discord, because they've got a thread on it there, but it's actually really simple. You just need the layout generator exe file, and then you put the layout JSON files from the helicopter and the action pack on top of it, and then it does its magic. But check out their Discord, because it's all on there. It's really really simple. Okay, so it looks like we've got a bit of an incline there, but I am going to try and I want to get as close as possible. Close as possible as I can to the police car. It doesn't look too bad, but like I said, it can be deceptive. You suddenly, what doesn't look too lumpy bumpy, you suddenly find is when you get to it. Let's have a look.
We are reasonably close.
We are reasonably close. It's like barely satisfactorily close. Right, let's go here.
Perfect landing. Wow.
Okay, we're down. So engines to idle. Outside. What a lovely evening up in the Highlands, eh? Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, Stephen, honestly, it really is an easy fix, mate. It's just read if you read the instructions. Oh yeah, damn, my head tracking won't look off all of a sudden. Got a button set up on my collective. Yeah, it's just there's a few things that you need to do. You need to download the layout generator exe file and some other bits. But honestly, it takes no time at all, and then you'll be up and running. Hey Hans, how are you? How is beautiful Austria tonight? There we go. So there's our casualty. It does a funny thing of obviously it's kind of reading location, so it's obviously seen a building or something here, and it's put on casualty there. Here come the Air Force. Look at that. Not only do they levitate, they can walk straight through walls. That is the level of quality of search and rescue in HEMS that you want. You want people that can walk through walls and levitate. And then you know you're in safe hands. Right, they've got the magic sponge out. They're doing their thing. We're going to come back here. And beautiful. Beautiful evening. Gorgeous. Right, let's have a look. try and be a little bit serious here. Open up the tablet. If we go onto dispatch info, and if we go to medical diagnostic page, let's have a look, see if I can lock off this head tracking one more time. Yes, let me do it. Let's have a look at here. Bear with me. Options. What if I try different? Let's try it. I'm going to try something. Let's try that. Okay. Yeah, that works much better. Okay, I'm going to go with that one. Okay, so Mackenzie Bryant, 13 years female, injured person in apartment, diagnosis undefined, status upon medical arrival responsive, patient assigned emergency code 2. Code 2 means immediate risk of serious injury. We've now got a heart rate because again it's simulating the doctor and the paramedic working on the patient. It's kind of done in real time as well, so they've walked out there, they've started getting stuff out of their bag, they're working on it, and now we've got a heart rate. There's our paramedic coming back now. He's going to come back and get the stretcher. Sometimes the patient will go on the ambulance and the doctor will go with the patient in the ambulance, and then our job is to fly to the hospital to pick up the doctor when he's done. So you never quite know what's going to happen. But we've got a heart rate, we've got an oxygen rate, and the patient conditions are life score of 59. 0 is we're not required anymore, quite frankly, and 100 is why are you wasting my time. So 59 is on the good side of the middle, but that can change. So we don't know. We'll see how it goes. I don't think we're too far from Dundee, so we haven't got too far to travel with the patient in the back. So that is pretty good. Nice one. Cheers, Steve. Hopefully that will sort it out for you. Basically, Killer Mike and I discovered tickets will only model match if you are in that exact aircraft. Even only works sometimes. Otherwise, it will just check random modeling. When you say in that exact aircraft, Guy, what do you mean? Do you mean if we were in the same aircraft, you would model match it? Yeah, because I don't know. It just seems to be quite odd. There we go. So select destination helipad. I'm going to accept that. Let's quickly wind it out. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's going to Dundee. We're off to Dundee. Let's take there we go. So they're coming back now with the patient in the back. We're all good to go. I always used to, it's an interesting thing, so bear with me, it's interesting to me anyway. We're sitting here with the engines running in idle. I've had one real world pilot tell me that no, if there's any kind of waiting around while they're doing things, you shut the engines down to save fuel and all that kind of thing. And then I've had another HEMS pilot, real world pilot, tell me no, you keep the engines running because you need to get going quickly. So for the sake of getting us going,
Patient on board, take care.
Leaving the engines running this time. So, patients on board. All good to go. Just need our chap. Right, he's now in.
Cabin secured, ready to fly.
Okay, so engines to flight. So if you're in a Lynx, you'd see me as a Lynx. Otherwise, you'll see me as a Bonanza. Okay. Yeah, hopefully they'll get that sorted out, mate. Because especially for things like route flights, it kind of defeats the object, doesn't it? You want to see people in the different aircraft that they're flying in. Okay, right, good to go. We've got a blue line there, happy with that. We've got a distance in the GPS destination, so I know that that's all hooked up, so we're ready to go. The wind is coming from over there. There's a lovely There's a lovely H145. Ace, you're here. Well done, lad. Well done. Okay, so quick look around. What have we got? I think guy's just over there. Ace is there, so I'm going to damn you. Is let's try that. No, let's try that. I'm trying to get my. There we go. There we go. Behave yourself. Right. So just pick up. I know that I'm nice and clear behind. I know I've got trees to my right, but we're just going to back up and climb a bit. There. Just going to come this way. Hopefully Ace will keep going the way he's going, which he is. Thank you. And then we can get the nose a bit more into wind, pick up some speed, and then we can head back the other way to Dundee.
VTOS.
Some transitional lift. Lovely jubbly. Clear over here. Watch for the power lines, which I just saw out of my eye. As I imagined it. Got the Mamu power line add-on. Yeah, they're tiny, aren't they? Tiny. There we go.
V1.
We're en route. Interesting. FPS dropping off a little bit. Doing it again. So, similar scenario, just after takeoff. Don't know if that's anything to do with it. You can see the UPS dropping a little bit. I suppose you've changed helicopter, have you, Guy? While you're on the ground. Interesting that it's similar to before, where the FPS has dropped off just after takeoff. Now it's coming back again, it's easing in. Just watching the speed versus, I do want to climb, but also I don't want to overtalk, so just keeping an eye on that, doing it manually this time. I don't know, I can normally fly with another H145 without any issues with FPS. I mean, it's not as bad as it was before, but it's definitely something going on with it. I wonder. I just realised, because I was flying on Beyond ATC, I turned off aircraft and then I turned it on again. And I wonder if it's because I've got my aircraft
500
quality setting too high. So I'm going to try and experiment. God, I hope this doesn't break it. No, do you know what? I'm not going to do it. The H145 is susceptible. If you go into the menu, it can send it going haywire, so I'm not going to do it. I wonder if I need to, what's the time? Yeah, I'm not sure we are going to get another mission in there. Might do. Yeah, to hell with it. When we get on the ground, I'm going to turn that setting down. I think I used to fly with it medium or something like that, and I think I might have inadvertently turned it right up. But then, having said that,
500
I don't know. I'm convinced that should really cause us that much of an issue. Let's have a look. maybe something that's just playing up in the server tonight. So, but then having said that, I think Ace, are you? Is your FPS okay? Is everything smooth for you? I'm just trying to rule out the server. Cheers, Guy. Great to have you along as always, mate. Have a good one. Right, let's come back to the I'd say it's improved a little bit, but it hasn't got that. It's still a little bit stuttery. Okay, cheers, Ace. So it's probably not. It's probably not that. It's probably a setting I've got. But as I say, I'm not going to play with it now. It's all right. Always on live streams. Always. So let's quickly check on the patient. Patient condition 61, which is good. That's because the chaps in the back are looking after her. So her condition's actually getting better, which is good. Always makes it a bit interesting when the patient's condition is getting worse. And I always say it, but it does give you a huge amount of respect for the crews that do this in the real world, because to be concentrating on flying a helicopter, keeping the helicopter safe, everyone in the helicopter safe, whilst having someone who is potentially dying in the back, is I think takes a special kind of focus really. So a huge amount of respect to them, but she seems to be hanging in there and not doing too badly. Good God. My wife has just messaged me. Sounds like Sylvester Stallone has just died. Is that right? I'm presuming there's just been some kind of a news flash. It's a bit of a shock. People who are kind of iconic figures in our culture, you know, I mean, we were only watching him a few months ago in Tulsa King, and you kind of forget how they're getting old and they're fragile. I don't know what age he was though. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so we are 3 minutes out now. This is going to make the landing a little bit difficult. In helicopters, you always need that kind of smooth FPS because you need that kind of control over it. So if the FPS drops like this, it always makes the landing a bit of a challenge. But I really am. That's interesting. Okay, momentarily improved then. Okay, this is over there. That was interesting. Okay, let's take her off autopilot now. So, release on. Check everything. Descent in. Watch the speed, watch the rate of descent. As the speed gets slower. By the way, I'm talking to myself here. This is not a tutorial if you hadn't already guessed.
I'm
talking to myself, but yeah, so just making sure that I don't, as we get slower, that I don't have too high a rate of descent in, because then we'll go into a VRS vortex ring state and plummet to the ground. There on the nose. Pretty sure it is. Pretty sure it is. So let's closer look, and the helipad should be over on this side. The wind is that away, so opposite direction to last time I was here. So we're going to come, there's the helipad.
Rear crew, we are approaching the landing site.
So we're going to come around from this direction this time. Close that now, so see where it is. There's the helipad. Wind is 7 knots. Nice helipad here. Quite clear. I use the Epic full Scottish helipads, so that's why it's nicer than it would be if we were just coming in default. Come round. FPS is good now. Look at that. How weird. FPS is good. FPS is good and we're right next to Ace, so I know it's not his helicopter now. Now we're kicking up dirt, the FPS is absolutely fine. It's not bothered by all that.
Rear crew, prepare for ground operation. Nice touch, Captain.
Okay. Yeah, FPS is beautiful now. Same weather, same light. There's Ace. I can whap it around. Look at that. No problem at all. How strange. But that is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, isn't it? It's like, how weird. So smooth now. I'm a little bit tempted. We're not going to fly another mission, but I'm curious. I am curious as to why. So let's lock off that so you can see the chaps doing their thing. Again, I'm trying to get my head tracking to lock off, but it won't. Anyway, you can see the guys walking away there. What it's going to do now is, because it simulates everything, my guys are going to go in now with the hospital crew to do the paperwork, to do the handover. My doctor's going to be saying to the hospital crew, this is what we did, we stuck this needle in, we gave them this bandage and all that kind of stuff, and it's going to simulate that. So if you were doing this for hours, which I could easily do, now would be the point where you shut the engines down, run off and make a cup of tea, come back again, and by then the guys over there will have come down. I'm curious though, because of that FPS thing, I'm curious to see what's going on. So I'm going to press skip paperwork. Come on lads, get back in the chopper. Get to the chopper! Sorry. Inevitable, isn't it? Right, and you get sunshine.
Cabin secured, ready to fly.
Okay, we're going to end the mission. But we're going to do a little experiment. We'll submit the report. There you go. That's fine. We'll come out of there. I'm going to just quickly. I never do it this way, and I can't remember. Is it that one? Crew and payload. Let's stick a bit of fuel in. There we go. And then close that. And I think there's an oil rig up there past Dundee. But I really want to see what happens with the FPS. Really curious about that. I'm going to wind the time back a bit so we've got the same kind of lighting and everything as we had before. Yeah, still good. So last time, before, it was going all horrible after liftoff, so let's see what it does now. Quick look over here, everything's fine, that's good, no warnings. So, there's Ace. Just come over this way a bit. Keep that this way. Pick up some speed into wind.
VTOS. VY.
And now that we're not on duty, we can mess around a little bit. FPS seems to be holding. Dundee. So that's the Orbex Dundee Airport. Maybe FPS dropping a little bit now. FPS definitely dropping. So, we'll try something. Bear with me. I'm going to experiment a little bit. But I need to get her on the ground. I can't do this in the air. I'll land on this edge. Because if I go into the menu in the air, it's going to go crazy. Come on, just beginning now.
Good
There
job,
we go.
Captain. Smooth landing.
Okay, so I'm going to go boof, boof. Oh, where did I do it? Where did I do it? Is it down here? Air traffic high. I'm going to turn it down to low. Okay, we've still got a helicopter. Where did Ace go? Looks like we've lost. Oh no, there's Ace. We've got Ace. So that's still good. Engine's still alive, so that's still good. Let's see what happens now. Curious to see if we get that same behaviour again.
VTOS.
So like before, we've just lifted off. FPS feels okay.
VY.
Still stable. The virtual people at Dundee wondering what the hell this thing is doing. FPS still not too bad. Oh no. There he goes. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I have a feeling like before, if we carried on it would suddenly smooth out again, because that's what it seems to do. I mean, you can see right now the FPS is pretty horrible. So let's try roll something out. Nice and smooth now. So right as we're coming in on a detailed platform deck, FPS is nice and smooth.
Nice landing.
So it's not that, it's not level of detail. There's Ace, so it's not multiplayer. What do you think? What do you think? You guys in the chat, what do you reckon? Because that is really weird. Really weird. While I'm on the ground, I'll just pop the Discord link in the chat again if you want to come along and join up and say hello. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off, see how the FPS behaves, and then we'll land at Dundee. Okay, look around. I can't see Ace, but Ace, if you are watching, I'm going to be reversing climbing. So I'll just give that 10 seconds to get through the ether because there's a bit of a lag. Right in the back, lads. Yeah, look at him. He's wondering what the great FPS mystery is about as well. Thank you, Trevor. That's very kind of you. No, Kevin. The internet connection should be absolutely fine. I mean, I've got something like 900 plus megabyte per second connection, so. It shouldn't be that, but it is strange how it's coming in and out, and I'm using the same graphic settings I always do. And as you can see, I mean, we've just done an approach to a rig where there's a lot of detail and the FPS got really smooth, so I know it's not my graphic settings, but there's definitely something causing an intermittent FPS thing. But I'll be interested to see what happens now, because it always seems to happen just after lifting off. So I'll be interested to see what happens now. We will see. So backing up. FPS is alright. Just drift over here. FPS is still good. There's Ace, no problems with the FPS now, so we're going over the same ground. Okay.
VTOS. V1.
So yeah, same scenario, just after takeoff, it drops out a little bit. That is really weird. Never seen that before. And like before, if I carried on flying, eventually it's going to pick up. Got road traffic on quite low. Where we were before, there wasn't a huge amount of road traffic anyway. Yeah, it's really odd. I'm going to try one more experiment. I'm going to turn off multiplayer. Although I don't think that's that's what's causing it. Try a few things. Again, I'm only going to do it on the ground, because when you go into the menu and this does funny things. Still, there's a good chance to have a bit of practice.
This was a very good touch.
Okay, so, sorry Ace. Oh, hang on. Look at that. FPS is just great again. Weird. I am going to turn off multiplayer because that's enough to test that. So let's come into there. Settings, online, multiplayer off. Okay, let's see what happens. I honestly don't think that that's going to make a blind bit of difference. Let's give it a whirl.
VTOS.
No, that's the thing, Ace. That's kind of what I was saying. It's the same. I'm using the same graphic settings that I always do. So it should be fine, but there's just something else. It happens. I was saying earlier, I was making a video weekend before last, and weird things were going on, and then I gave up on it, went to make the video last weekend, and it was absolutely fine. So FPS, what are you doing? It's being a little bit pokey. But it's definitely holding better. Cheers Max, thanks for joining, good to have you along. Yeah, the FPS is much better, isn't it? So it's the multiplayer. Potentially something going on. Not necessarily Ace because he was there when it was smooth, but turning multiplayer off seems to have had an effect. Let's just go across the bridge, get some new terrain. Typical flight sim, you kind of you set off with an idea of what you want to do, and then you end up troubleshooting. A slight FPS dropping there. but it's definitely smoother with multiplayer off. So I wonder if maybe it's a combination of streaming and multiplayer. I mean, the FPS is just great now. No problems. Going to speed test it now, Kevin, but what I'll do is I'll wait till I've finished streaming. But it's true, it's definitely worth checking that, just in case. I do know that sometimes my broadband can drop from just over 900 to about 400, 500, and then restarting the router will sometimes fix it. But I don't think it's that. I think it's something to do with the multiplayer, because we are so. I mean, now it's just so smooth. So maybe I need to check my multiplayer settings. I had put the aircraft. What was it? The aircraft quality or the air traffic quality down to low. We still have that low FPS in there, but very odd. It's a shame, because it's always nice doing this sort of thing with other people. It always makes it more fun. And to be fair, normally we can do these kind of impromptu group flights on a stream without any issue. It's just tonight for some reason. The FPS is much better. Much better. Okay. Now, we'll see if I can remember where it was. It's there. If he's still going to be there. No, he's not there. Last time I came here, there was a marshal in front of the hangar over there. He was a bit confused, because I think he was expecting an aircraft, not a helicopter, so he didn't quite know how to marshal it in, but we'll pop in there. Strong. It's gusting.
This was a very good touch.
There he is. Oh, I see. It's because now that we've touched down, he's decided to come out. Too late, my friend. We've landed. We don't need any marshalling services now. Right. Okay, well, thank you ever so much for your patience. Sometimes these streams, everything just goes beautifully, really smooth, no issues at all, no technical issues. But this has definitely been one of those streams where things went a bit strange. And the FPS thing is, is another one of those kind of new kind of things that I've not seen before, and I can almost guarantee you, if I came back tomorrow night and did the same thing, it would be absolutely fine. It's just what happens, isn't it? Weird stuff. And talking of weird stuff, yeah, I see. Okay, there we go. That's better. just noticed one of my control bindings for the head tracking was the lock button. I'd taken the wrong one. Anyway, that's not very interesting for you. So yeah, thanks ever so much for joining. This has been a huge pleasure having you along. I thank you for your patience with the little bits that were going wrong. But it was good fun. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you on the channel again soon. Take care now. Bye bye.